Good evening and welcome to MetroFocus. I'm Rafael P. Roman. We begin tonight with growing concerns about the risks of lead paint in New York City's public housing, a problem that some state lawmakers are now calling the new Flint, Michigan. A damning new report by the Independent Democratic Conference accuses NYCHA, the city agencies that oversees 180,000 apartments across the city, of widespread neglect regarding the authority's lead paint problem. According to the report, which is titled The New Flint, 79% of the residents surveyed said that NYCHA did nothing when lead paint was discovered in their apartments. 80% had children whose blood levels have not been tested. 63% said their apartment had peeling or chipped paint. And 54% of those who called NYCHA for repairs say they are still waiting in excess of a month for them to show up. In addition to the survey, the report lays out a list of legislative proposals to address the issues, including an independent state monitor to oversee the agency and a requirement that 311 handle NYCHA complaints. Currently, those complaints are redirected to the Housing Authority itself. Lawmakers say they will introduce the proposed NYCHA fixes in the coming weeks. And joining us now is one of those lawmakers, State Senator Jesse Hamilton, who represents parts of Brooklyn, including Crown Heights, Brownsville, and Sunset Park. Senator, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Rafael. Thank you for having me here.
Now, so Senator, you called the report the new Flint.
Yes.
And some city officials are pushing back on that and pushing back hard.
Right.
For example, Mary Bassett, she's the commissioner of the health department of the city, called the comparison between the city and Flint regarding lead, quote, alarmist and wrong, and accused you and your fellow legislators of playing politics with public health. Your response?
Well, my response to her is that from 2012 to 2016, there were no inspection of the apartments for parents having children 6 years old or younger. And so they just lost a lawsuit for $50 million for a young child having 6 times the amount of lead in her system. So we believe there is a problem. We have 400,000 people living in NYCHA housing. Yeah. There was a report that they had to do lead paint testing for 3,000 children. Mm-hmm. Only 73 were tested. Myself and Common Health Center, we have given lead paint testing for over 100 kids within a 3-week period. So we believe that the commissioner may be understating the problem in NYCHA housing, but she doesn't mention that they fired 52 lead paint inspectors. So therefore, we know there's a problem. And the question is, what are we going to do to fix it?
All right, so let's move on to the specifics of the report. What did you find in this report beyond what I briefly described in the introduction that surprised you?
The mere fact that the commissioner for NYCHA lied under oath, stating that the inspections were done, knowing that the inspections were not done, and putting children and parents at risk. That's the most alarming thing. As a commissioner for NYCHA, your duty is first and foremost for the people that you're taking care of. And you have a responsibility to make sure that everyone living in NYCHA, I grew up in NYCHA, yeah. And the conditions are safe for children. Mm-hmm. So to knowingly and willingly lie in a city council hearing, mm-hmm. Sign documents for the federal government, for HUD, stating that the inspections were done, knowing that they weren't done, and even though that they found out the inspections were done, they're still not doing the inspections, they're still not removing. You just can't paint over lead paint. Right. You have to remove it. So the abatement process is not being done in NYCHA housing.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the solutions that you're proposing. One of them is you want complaints to go to 311 instead of NYCHA. Why is that going to make a big difference?
Because NYCHA can't govern themselves. They've proven over and over again that there needs to be some oversight. If there was a city, be like one of the 4th largest cities in the state of New York. So therefore, since the commissioner lied under oath, since they haven't done any abatement process to the apartments, we need someone oversight to make sure that someone is watching NYCHA, to make sure that they are doing what is governed by HUD and by the city. So we voted on a new independent monitor in the New York State Senate to have oversight over NYCHA. And we believe right now they need more money, which is true, but at the same time they need oversight to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah,
you say they need more money, and NYCHA is potentially facing a huge cuts in federal funding under the Trump administration, as much as $460 million. Some of the NYCHA supporters are saying that you guys are aiming your guns at the wrong target. You're going after NYCHA when you should be going after the federal government, who are pulling the rug out from them financially, you say?
I agree, but we can be more efficient in NYCHA and operating costs. You know, it's always, I grew up in NYCHA. Either you have no heat or you have too much heat. as far as repairs being done. You have plumbers who are making over $350,000 a year. We need to look at the people who are living there, the workforce, and put them to work. If you live there and you're not working, you need to work. So we can have more creative ways on driving down maintenance costs, which is the driving factor, and getting things done. So, yeah.
You know, another one of the proposals that you made, by the way, I should say, is, as I mentioned in the introduction, proposing an independent monitor to oversee NYCHA.
Correct.
Now, doesn't that just add another level of bureaucracy? Doesn't that increase the friction between the state and the city?
No, actually, we voted on the city having oversight over NYCHA. So we voted in the Senate for the city to have more oversight over NYCHA.
The city also to have more oversight.
The city to have oversight, and then the state to have an independent monitor on top of that. So it may be creating another layer on the state level, but on the city level, many of the city council felt that NYCHA wasn't responsive to their concerns. So the New York State Senate has given them over $300 million over the last 3 years. And once the money goes in, it's never allocated to where the need is at. Money was given for fixing the roofs. That hasn't been done yet. Money was given for new boilers. You know, that hasn't been implemented yet. So we have money already there for NYCHA, but it's not being fully utilized. Right.
So how soon will we see this legislation be introduced?
It was introduced, it passed in the state Senate. We're just waiting for it to pass in the New York State Assembly.
When do we expect that to happen?
Hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so.
And what about the governor? Is he supporting this?
The governor is supporting it because we have a lot of people in NYCHA. We have one of the highest homeless rates in the city of New York, in the state of New York ever. And so housing is a very important item right now that we're looking at. In my district in Brownsville, we have some schools where 51% of the kids are coming out of homeless shelters. So we're saying homeless shelters should not be the new affordable housing. And we have a lot of space on NYCHA land, and we don't believe in that selling the land to private developers is going to help people of the city who are low income.
So, Senator, if someone who's living in a NYCHA apartment is listening to us right now, what should they know about what's happening and what they should be doing?
They should know their rights. They should know that they can start calling 311s within the next couple of weeks. They can call my office, 718-284-4700. and then they should also just you know, go online and you can Google it, you know, tenants' rights. I think a lot of people feel that they don't, you know, they have tenants' rights, but when they go to NYCHA for repairs, they're not done. I've been in apartments in NYCHA where you have mold in the bathroom. You have doors that are broken, the front doors in the building. We just passed a bill. I passed a bill because when the elevators are broken all the time, there was a fire. An elderly woman couldn't get down to the lower floor, and she died in her apartment. So right now, I passed a bill that people living in NYCHA who are senior citizens and who are disabled can move to lower floors. So I think we can do more and be more proactive and just not think of people living in NYCHA as the unforgotten citizens.
All right. Well, Senator, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this issue.
Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate it.